Cheers. And just like that. And welcome. I am Marissa Gold, your host. This is Life 2.0 Live. We are on location today at the Griffin Club in Los Angeles. We are here for the SoCal Wellness event. This is a once-a-year event. It is a mini retreat for women from all over the area. This is their 9th annual event. It is brought to us by these incredible sponsors: Needed, Athleta, Hey Milestone, Ultima, Legree Fitness, SoCal Moms, Osteo Strong, Live On, The Core Method, Kudos, and Hello Again. So we thank them for being the primary sponsors of this event. This day is filled with what I like to say, or actually I took this from Tracy Frighten, who's the founder of SoCal Moms and a good friend. But she says this event is for all women from menstruation to menopause, and it's a day where we're going to learn all about our health, our well-being, whether it's our sexual health, our mental health and well-being, our physical, our nutritional, you name it. It's everything. And what I love about this day, I've been involved in coming to this event now for about 4 or 5 years. What I love so much about this is I always feel like I'm kind of up on what I know because I read a lot and I'm interested in this space. But inevitably, I come to this wellness event and I always find experts that I want to meet with, and new supplements that I want to try, and new workout methods that I hadn't heard of in the past. And there are just always so many ways that I can supplement what I'm already doing. There are always so many ways that you can supplement what you're doing. And so that's really what this day is all about. So if you happen to be watching us and you're joining us, thank you. We are coming to you live from the Griffin Club in Los Angeles at the SoCal Wellness mini retreat for women. And I am joined on the couch by Dr. Ashley Beckman, who is one of our speakers, and she is on the Women's Wellness panel. And Dr. Beckman,
yes,
what are you going to be speaking about on this panel?
I'm going to be speaking today a lot about healthy tips that are easy to implement in your day-to-day life. I'm also a busy mom. A lot of us are here.
Yeah.
And I do work a lot with women and kids, and life gets very full and busy. And so I want to give people either easy swaps or foundational things that you can really implement and do every day that make a big difference, because we often get caught up in which supplement, which thing to take, and often when we don't have our foundational things in place, that's the best place to start with the food we eat, the water we're drinking, are we moving our body, and a few other things. When you go to sleep, that's a big one.
Sleeping is a big one.
Sleeping is probably the biggest of everything.
Yeah.
And it's just really important to also keep your stress levels down as much as possible. And we just get into these routines and there's things to do. And I love helping people find what those are for them that might be out of balance. But my biggest passion is finding the root cause of why someone might be sick, or they're not feeling well, or their kids aren't. And there are easy ways to do that, so that's what I love to do.
Yeah, and one of the things I love so much that you said to me a few minutes ago before we were live was you were saying how finding the littlest habit, actually, and breaking that actually makes a really big difference. Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure.
Because I think I think that idea at every age and stage of development is so important and often overlooked.
So for a lot of people, and this can be for especially parents, moms, dads, kids, we often have a habit that we do that we overlook or kind of put to the side because we really love it.
Right, we don't think about it so much. We
justify. I really like to make sure when I'm talking to somebody or a mom, or again, anyone in the family, that you identify some of these things, because often it's someone throws it in at the end, like, oh, by the way, I actually don't go to bed till midnight, right? And
I don't go to bed till after midnight. I know it's so bad. bad.
So now we found yours.
I know it is. I know it's so bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times, especially women, they're like, "What can I take, to lose weight? What can I take to balance my hormones?" All of these things, and at the top of the list is go to bed between 9 and 10. Seriously.
That's literally like the middle of my afternoon.
So I have steps to adjust people,
Okay.
but you can't just throw something like that out if it's so out of your normal routine. But it's really, really critical to find those things, or sometimes people will, add something, I don't know, fake sugar or something to their coffee, and I'd say, okay, let's switch this out
to something.
Or there's just a lot of things like that we, again, justify is the right word.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that daily amount, or again, for some people it's, the wine they drink over the weekend or the week, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And there are ways to tweak that, modify your habits, and then make sure that they're actually helping you and not making it harder for you.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
And start small, right?
Yeah.
We usually pick one.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you said that, because what I was going to say that I think that goes along with that is really managing expectations.
Yes.
And not saying like, do these 10 things, because then we're setting ourselves up for failure. And as you started this out by saying, like, we're all busy moms.
Yes.
And that's the thing about this event that I love. Like, almost everyone here is a mom in some way, shape, or form, and at some stage of development with their kids. And so we are all trying to figure out the best way to live our best lives, but also juggling work and being a mom and a partner, whatever else we have. And I think it's important to set ourselves up with good healthy expectations. So if you had, like, if someone was sitting down with you and they were like, just give me your top 3 nuggets of wisdom, what would those be?
So first is get to bed before 10. The next is
Doctor.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, Dr. Ashley.
This isn't for you, this is general.
Okay.
For the overall health of everybody.
Yeah. No, for me too.
It moves the needle the most.
Yeah.
Sleep at the top.
Moves them. Okay. Wait, I have a really quick question about that. If I am able to sleep in. No, it doesn't? Really?
The hours before midnight are more recuperative. And what happens?
I did not know that.
So there's 2 big things that happen. Basically, if you're up past 11, your body secretes the stress hormone, which makes you gain weight and your body be more stressed. Around the middle. Yeah. And then secondly, the brain, the lymphatic system does not drain as well.
Okay.
And so you need your body to detox at night, which is when it starts around 11 between the gallbladder, liver, and the brain.
Okay.
So you actually really need to be asleep then, so that your body's not up and doing other activities.
Got it.
So the sleep.
Sleep. Yes.
I would say learning how to manage stress.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
healthy
if that's
stress versus toxic stress.
Moving, whatever it is, and then what you're putting in and on your body. So between the food, the water, and personal care products.
Taking care of your skin, right? Because skin is actually our largest organ, and I think it often goes overlooked.
And whatever you put on goes straightly to the bloodstream.
Right?
Yeah, so it doesn't get filtered by the liver and the kidneys.
Yeah.
So when you're putting things on that are not as clean, and again, I tell people that's where to start with personal care.
Yeah.
Whatever you're slathering all over your body, make that clean.
Oh, really?
Because that's the biggest surface area.
I'm going to look for something today, because I don't know that the thing that I use actually, I know it's good for me, but I don't know that it's necessarily.
I can give you the brands I like.
Oh, okay, I would love that. Yes, I would love that.
Yes.
Do you want to say them on camera?
I'm trying to think so I use body oils generally, because they don't have when you have water in a product, which is in a cream or a lotion, it has to have a preservative generally.
Okay.
So I use a company called Primally Pure.
Oh yeah,
love them.
Yeah.
And they have amazing body oils and body butter.
Okay.
And that's the biggest one.
Okay. I'm gonna look out for them.
For the whole body.
Well, I've loved this. Do me a favor. Can you, because at the camera and tell us where we can find you if you're looking for an incredible functional medicine practitioner in the Los Angeles area.
And I work online.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay.
Most of my clients don't even live here.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, so where can we find you?
So my website's drashley.com, drashley.com, and my Instagram, which I try to give a lot of informative videos, and if people have questions, I can share things on there. That's Dr. Ashley Beckman. So,
Love it.
So
Well,
just Dr. Ashley Beckman.
Dr. Beckman, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
We're gonna hang out.
Yes.
You're gonna be here all day, and you're
Yep.
also on a panel
Yep.
that is at 10:45, right? Or 10:30. 10:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
All right.
So thank you again.
Of
This was
course.
lovely, and I will
Thank
see you
you.
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello.
Mike.
Natasha, my producer's going to grab them. Okay, but I'm still live. I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're walking
Okay.
away with the mic.
Okay.
How many mics have you chased out the
Hi,
door?
yes.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Julie from Mabel's Labels.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
Yay!
I'm
Thank
with
you.
you.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Marissa. It's so
Hi.
nice. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
First of all, I'm just going to fangirl for a second because I've been using Mabel's Labels for like 6 years now.
Yay, you can say that on the video.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talk about it, and in fact,
that's
actually, I used to do a parenting show on Amazon.
Okay.
And when I did my like summer show,
Yeah.
the first thing I said was, "You got a Mabel's Labels, everything for camp."
You got it. You
So
got
how
it.
did that happen? Tell me, like, what was the genesis for like that?
So, because I'm speaking
Yes.
today as well.
Yes, I know.
About
Well,
knowing your
Yes.
why. And it really just came from
Yeah.
a product missing from the market. It's
Yes.
been 20 years now.
Yeah, I know. It's been so long.
Yeah, and I was, we were working the traditional workforce, noticed a product missing from the market, and then, I have 6 kids.
Yeah.
And my oldest child got diagnosed with autism, and I
Okay.
just didn't think that the traditional workforce was going to suit any
Yeah,
longer.
yeah.
So I made the shift.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So tell me what you're doing here today and what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to be speaking about. Obviously, we're talking about wellness a lot today
Yes.
and thinking about wellness.
Yes.
Mine comes from more a perspective point. I'm going to
Okay.
be talking about how have I done the thing like started the business, 20 years in, raised 6 kids while
Yeah.
keeping my cool.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk about some of my productivity tips.
Okay.
Some of my strategies and
Okay.
how I can keep perspective
I love that.
to make that all
So it's
happen.
so interesting that you say that because perspective is my number one thing that I talk about.
Yeah, right.
Because it's the thing that I think actually like really propels us and helps us, or really like we have to have like a healthy perspective about things.
And you know what?
And
Like-
manage expectations accordingly.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's the only thing that I feel like I can control.
Totally.
Right? Like
Yes.
there's so much going on that I
Yes.
can't control, but I can say, okay, how am I going to let this land
Yep.
on me? Or what am I going to do with this?
Yes, and that's so funny that you say that because I'm always saying to the people that I work with, because I do mental health coaching also,
Right.
and I'm always saying like you have to ask yourself what can you control and what is out of your control. And when you start to really understand and like incorporate that question into your life all the time, you don't get bothered by the stress.
Right.
Of, like, because
Yeah.
it's like you learn very quickly like, oh, I can't control this, so why am I going to spend time being stressed about
And
it?
the added bonus I find is that the kids then, like
Yes.
you're a role model, right?
Yes,
Like I always say this
absolutely.
parenting game, you can preach and say all you want,
Yeah.
but it's a role modeling gig.
Totally, yeah.
So if they see you with healthy perspective, they see you
Absolutely.
managing that, then they are going to
and
learn
healthy
those skills.
healthy stress
Exactly.
management, absolutely.
And I'm not talking about toxic positivity or
Right.
anything like that, you
Right.
know? I'm just talking about, the things that you can control doing.
Yeah, I love that. So what would you say you have these productivity tips? What are, let's say, like 2 or 3 of them? Can you share some of them with us?
Yes, but I'm going to be giving you
Yes,
some
I know
of
you're
my
going to be giving.
talk.
I know. We get
that's
the
okay.
goods here first, people.
Yeah. So I think the first one is around boundaries and saying no. And I will give
my
lots
God,
of examples
so
about how we have to say no to our families and our children and make them respect our time. I could spend my entire life chasing 6 kids around.
Yeah.
But instead, I made them independent. They, experience natural consequences.
Oh my God, I love you. These are all the things that I talk
Yeah,
about.
right.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. And I
Yeah.
set boundaries at work. I set boundaries. I get invited to speak at a lot of events.
Yeah.
I have a 10-point checklist before I say yes to going to an event.
Wow.
So,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's something that you've created for
I've
yourself.
created for myself.
That's amazing.
But I will tell you this.
Yeah.
At the age and stage I am,
Yes.
the number one question is, do I want to?
Which is so important.
And if
right?
I don't,
yeah,
it kind of
doesn't matter what the other.
It trumps
yeah.
all the other 9 questions.
Totally. Well,
Yeah.
and you have earned the right
Exactly.
to be at that place and to pick and choose what you want to do.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, and I think that that's a beautiful thing to actually look. It's incorporating knowing how to say no.
Yep.
Right. Setting boundaries, like all the things you're talking about. But at the core, it's knowing who you are and what you want,
That's
and
right.
listening to yourself.
Yeah.
And your intuition.
And valuing your time.
Yes.
And and I find again with the role modeling, if I value my time, my coworkers value my time.
Yes.
The public values my time, my kids value my time.
Totally, yes.
So again, it comes back to like living what you want others, how you want to be treated.
How you want to be treated. I love that. I would love it if you would come on my show in the studio at some point. You can think
I would
about
love
it and
that.
run it through your 10-point checklist.
Yeah.
But I would love to have you on because I think we would have so much fun.
I would love that.
And it's geared towards women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I love that.
And it's all, so like,
I
what are we
turned
doing?
50.
Sitting down
Of
with
course.
me.
I'm just going to do
Yes.
it. Can you mind just taking a photo for my phone?
Yes.
So that I can, because
would
my
be
girls
great.
back home are trying to get me, they're like,
Instagram.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh," and it's always a thing.
And then will you send
Sorry
it
about
to
my
me?
dirty- Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Let's
Okay.
make sure, I just got to make sure we're following each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, the camera.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so
Okay, so
much.
what's your personal Insta, just to make sure?
So I
would
have
you-
2.
okay, what do you want me to
I do it at Intuit Parenting for
Okay.
and there's the Life 2.0 is Life 2.0 _ TV, and then there's Intuit Parenting, both of them.
Yeah, sure. My hands are cold. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm always cold. Don't worry.
Intuit
What's your name?
Parenting, and then
Natasha?
also
Jessica, nice
Life
to meet you.
2.0
You're so beautiful.
_ TV. The 2 different areas of my life.
know
Yep,
where they're
that's
called?
yep.
And then the
And then the other one is Life. Yeah.
It's one of my good
2.0.
assets. We gotta promote the good ones.
Underscore.
I'll take
There you go.
videos
Yep.
and
There
pictures.
you
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Perfect.
videotape the whole thing.
It's really
Whatever
nice to
you
meet
want.
you. Take care.
I trust you completely.
Thank you. And happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Come and join me. I'm sorry that we were
Don't
late.
be sorry.
How are you?
As long as I can teach my class.
I know. And you're doing that at 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm wellness consulting all day
You
in
are.
between, and then I lead the closing meditation.
Oh, I'm going to be at the closing meditation
Oh,
for sure
good.
because I can't do your class, which I really wanted to. I even brought a bag full of clothes that I could change into.
You're busy.
Yeah, we're doing and I'm on a panel as well.
Oh,
So in
good.
a little bit.
Well,
yeah.
and I mean, you could do my YouTube channel anytime you want. It's free.
Oh, let's talk about that. Okay, I love
Okay.
it. So I am sitting here. I am joined by the core expert herself. Tell me a little bit about you and how you became the core expert.
So, I was a professional dancer.
Okay.
I danced all my life.
Okay.
My life has always been a very physical experience.
Okay.
I believe that movement is our first language.
Yes, I
And-
agree. I love
yes.
it.
And
Dancing.
movement, expression,
Yeah.
and movement is medicine.
You can tell her to
Friend
come
and
over.
colleague. Hi, Candace. And I danced all my life, and I started teaching. I'm Jessica Schatz, by the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't say that.
No,
Yes,
please.
Jessica Schatz.
Shots. Shots like tequila, even though I don't drink.
Jessica Schatz, the core expert. I should have said that.
Please
That's
don't
my
worry
bad.
about it.
Yeah.
So
I just assumed everyone knows you. I mean,
That's very kind. That's very kind. And even if they do, they might not say my last name right. But that's okay. It means treasure in German,
Does it?
actually. Yeah, it's like a term of
Oh, I
endearment.
love that.
In fact, I danced for an opera company for many years, and they speak every language.
Okay.
So they all call me Shotzi, Shots, because they
I
know
love
what.
that shot.
I mean.
Yeah.
Very
Wait,
sweet.
are you from here originally, or no?
I grew up in the Bay Area.
Oh, really? Me too.
You did?
I did.
Where?
Well, I was born in San Francisco and I lived in Palo Alto.
Oh, my mom is in Menlo Park.
Oh, I lived there also.
I grew
That's
up in
so fun.
Marin.
Okay. I have family in Marin.
I grew up in Mill Valley. I'm a Mill Valley kid.
I know that
all
area
the way.
very well.
Yeah.
I love it. So when did you come here?
Well, I moved to LA in 2000. So
Okay.
I was teaching. I always found Pilates and yoga. I found it very early in my dance
before it
life.
was trendy.
Way.
Yeah, like
but
before
it was,
anyone knew
the
what
dancers knew.
Right. Well, dancers were doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yoga was still very crunchy granola
Yeah.
sounding to people.
Yeah. I was doing it also because I was from the Bay Area and I
Right, of
danced
course,
also.
the Bay
and people
Area.
did it.
Yes.
Like that was
exactly.
Yeah.
So I, through my dance life, I was learning Pilates and yoga, and I'm an education junkie.
Okay.
And if I'm
So am I.
finding something that works for me, I want to learn how to do it and teach it and help it. I'm a natural educator.
Okay.
I want to help other people feel better.
Yeah.
I've always wanted that.
Love that.
And so I was in the Bay Area and I was dancing professionally and teaching as my day job. And I actually had a career-ending knee injury at 30.
Really?
And I came to LA and I said, I just need to stay creative and stay in the arts. And that was in 2000. And I came to
Wow.
LA. I packed my car with what would fit. I came down here. I'm like, I can still do choreography and acting and singing and all that. But I was teaching.
Okay.
And over time, it was a very clear, sort of organic way of shifting from the arts being my main focus into the world of wellness and education. That it just really kept happening organically,
Yeah.
and I kept being so hungry to get other certifications and degrees and learn and connect, and I loved going to conferences. I loved connecting with people. It's what makes us thrive.
Yeah. Connect community.
Community, and especially moving in community.
Absolutely.
So over time, I've built 3 companies, basically. I'll cut 2.
Okay.
So I'm a master Pilates instructor, a yoga teacher, a biomechanics coach, and a wellness educator.
Wow.
And I created this brand. I had started a company called Body by Jessica, and then I started a company called, which I've taught at this event for many years. And I started writing a lot, and I write for press and speak for press, and I started writing a blog, which is this brand, and I started speaking to private clients.
Okay.
But really what I'm doing now, I'm writing a book.
You are. What is the book about?
Well, the book is really I speak very transparently to my subscribers' audience. I speak very openly and vulnerably.
I love that.
I think that is what is going to help us live in a more compassionate, connected world.
Well, you're making yourself relatable.
Exactly. It's
Right.
the human experience.
Totally, and we all
So-
have it. And like when we try and fake it, we don't that you see that like it's.
Well, and it keeps us disconnected and disparate. And so the book is, I share very personal stories, but it's how I then discovered the gifts in the pain and how movements helped be a part of that restoration and healing. And then I try to offer to the reader a segue into their own lives and then what I can offer them. So it's called Meant to Move. And
Sounds
the
great.
subtitle is Living a Heart-Centered Life Through the Healing Power of Movement.
Oh, I love that
And
subtitle.
My goal,
Wow.
thank you. My goal is for it to be done by the end of this year, get it out to the world. I used to have an app and all my online membership, I turned it into a free YouTube channel for the pandemic.
Why did you choose to do that? I'm curious.
Because I just wanted more people to have access.
Okay.
And, the pandemic was a traumatic event.
Yeah.
We can't forget that or deny that.
Yeah, and it's still affecting us to this day.
No
and
question.
And it will continue.
And it will.
Yeah.
It will. And what happened in the new media and digital world with fitness, we exploded. So I just really wanted to give people access. It's for everyone. I mean, I even have a playlist called Active Agers.
You do. I love that.
Oh, I love working with the aging community. I mean, I'm 53, so I'm on the second half.
Yeah.
And I'm going to live to be, well, thank you. I don't think anyone looks their age anymore.
I mean, that is true. When you're in LA. That is very true.
But I'll live to be 103 or 5 or something. But we can just keep feeling good.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
We
And
just
we
have
can
to know
control
how.
it, right? Like,
Yes. Well, we can control how
Aspects
we
of it.
choose to move, how we choose to think, how we choose to breathe, how we choose to connect with each other. And
so what would you say to someone who hasn't been that active and wants to? Like, how would you them, but kind of encourage them to like make that move into that, a new
that's
lifestyle?
A great question, and I have a lot of that in my book because some of the readers are going to be people who aren't movers and don't naturally take to that.
Right.
And I talk about it in a way of it's the mind, body, heart, spirit relationship. We are not, our physical health and our mental health and our emotional health and our psychological health are not separate pieces of us. They are one unit. And I always draw the infinity sign. One affects the other. In fact, I wear the infinity sign. One affects the other, constantly. It's a continuum. So if I'm doing something for my mental health, it is also affecting my physical health. Low back pain, ulcers, chronic diseases come from a life of lack of well-being.
And lack of movement, right?
Well, that's one of the pillars of well-being is movement, lack of well-being, whether it's movement, nutrition, sleep, community connection, all of those pieces have to come together for our well-being. I tell someone, start with taking an inhale and lifting your arms over your head on the inhale.
I love that.
And exhale and feel your arms
come down.
Release. And just notice from that one exercise, just check into your sensation. And start with 3 breaths like that. Inhaling, lifting your arms, exhaling, lowering your arms. Start with that. It is small, simple lifestyle changes that are going to be sustainable. It's not taking big drastic measures to, we're going to start a whole new fitness regime, a whole new nutrition. That's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable, right?
So that's what I would say.
I love that. That's so great. And really good advice. Really good advice. So Jessica, where can people find you? Will you look at that camera and let us know?
Am I looking at that camera?
This camera. And let us know where we can find you for all of the different
all the things.
All the things. And then I want you to come on my show in the studio. I want to bring you on for like
I'd love
I'd love to have you on.
We'll talk about that. My team and I are here all day. I'll be wellness consulting all day,
love
and then the meditation. So we'll set
talk.
something up.
We'll figure it out.
So you can find me in lots of places. I'm pretty easy to find. I have 2 Instagram accounts. My personal one is at Jessica Schatz. They'll probably spell it for you. Do I need to spell it here?
Spell it for the
JESSICASCHATZ. That is also my website, jessicaschatz.com, where you can sign up for my news a month. You can read my blogs, press articles, find out all the things. My other Instagram is at The Core Expert, and my YouTube channel, which has something for everyone, is at The Core Expert. And
how long ago did you start the YouTube channel?
I used to have an app. I had a membership years ago, online membership, before online membership was a thing. Then I had an app, and then during the pandemic,
you switched.
Midway through the pandemic, I said, let's just give it to people. Let's just give it away. I've made some big changes in my own life during that time, and it was one of the real clear, like, oh yes, that's what I'm doing. It was
It's great. I love that you're giving that to people, that it's a gift that you're giving them. So.
Well, before the pandemic, I used to always keep one pro bono client on my roster at all times.
Really?
And the world turned upside down. So private clienting changed. So instead of that, that's something I can do. That's something I can give.
It's amazing that you're doing that, because that service, the free service for people, is really, it's incredible, because there are so many fitness services out there that are on YouTube and but they're not free.